What's up, guys? It's Battle. I'm making a video from our most recent war because we had an amazing finish to this war, and it was a team effort. It's 100% true. We came down up against this clan that has 250 wins. They had like a 10-to-1 win ratio, and their top dog. Look at this guy. He is a nearly max Town Hall 11. There's really just like no flaws really in his base, but you can see up in the bottom right corner. Hoyd does get the 2-star. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. I'm going to show you guys a couple of attacks that we had against it, though. We had not a lot of trouble clearing out all these other bases. We had a lot of people just being completely unselfish, dropping as far as they needed to drop to make sure we cleared everything so we could have as many shots as possible on their top guy. The very first one we took ended up to be the one that was holding strong with a one star on this guy. This is my alt account. The thinking behind this one is I wanted to put my queen down here in the bottom right and kind of walk toward the AI. I knew she wasn't going to make it all the way, but I wanted to funnel a little bit of these outside troops. And I thought that maybe I could funnel up here in the top right as well with a golem and some wizards, but that golem does not last more than 30 seconds. So it's kind of a waste. But I quaked the middle here, hoping that with those two little funnels right there, maybe I can get all my Valks to run straight in at the Town Hall. Surprisingly, it works. And I decided on this point, I knew it wasn't going to be so great for my queen. I wanted to go in the top left because you can see there's a Expo level 3 up there, and I thought maybe my queen could handle that. But nonetheless, at a level 12, I knew she wasn't going to last very long. I just had to kind of make a big run at it. So you can see I don't even worry about the CC troops. And I get really, really lucky here. It's kind of fluky because all of my Valks, for the most part, went in toward the Town Hall before they start running on the outside. And that was really, really surprising, especially after all the other attacks that we end up getting. Because we had, like I said, like 10 attacks. And not many of them did the Valks actually go on the inside. So that's the first one we had. And like I said, that held for a good long while. Let's look at some other ones, because if you see, we had Dean's a Town Hall 10, Trifecta's a Town Hall 10, Ale is a Town Hall 10, and these guys have been crushing other bases for a good long while. They're not any soft attackers. They brought some good shots. Could have planned a little bit better on some of them. They brought some good shots, though, and we just couldn't break that base. Myself and Maverick, we're Town Hall 9s, and the best we could do is 43, 44%. So I'm not even going to show those. I will show you, let's see, TC. Now TC has been killing it too recently. And we talked for a good long while about what would be better. Would it be jump? Is it quake? What's better in this situation? And he decides to use jump, so that way it gives him some poison spells to help take out the CC a little bit better. He runs into a little bit of a trouble right here. When he puts down his queen and his healers, that dragon actually goes towards the healers, which is kind of scary. But fortunately, he's got a level 40 queen. He does not even have to use the ability, and she ends up taking down that dragon before the dragon does any real damage to those healers. They're all still alive, so nothing else is going to hit them until the AE wakes up. Now, you can see he's doing a great job right here. He's going to drop in some wall breakers in just a minute after raging the healers. That's super important. There's too many defenses right there. He had to do that. But you see the wall breakers, they come in on the south side of that compartment. The idea is he wants that queen to go in there, take out the enemy queen, take out a couple more of these defenses so that it helps funnel the Valks in. You can see the reason we chose this side is from that gap between the mortar and the Expo up there that helps funnel the Valkyries in just a little bit. Unfortunately, jump doesn't seem to be the right play here, and I don't really understand why. It should work nonetheless, just the same as the Quake. But for some reason, Quake just kind of gets the job done. Again, it's kind of fluky as well, but that's what we needed to do in this attack. Now, you can see he does get that AE down. That's huge. And at this point, this attack is looking awesome. I really, really thought this is going to be the one that gets the 2-star. Unfortunately, his queen's going to die off here, which really sucks because even if he does get the Town Hall, it makes it real difficult to get the percentage after that. But look at that. They all jump in to the Inferno, and then they jump straight back out and go north. And that was really frustrating. I wanted TC to get that 2-star or get the town hall at least. Especially after this attack. This was a great attack. He deserved to get a star. But you can see all of his Valks are still, for the most part, alive, but they're fizzling out over here at max expos, taking a toll on him. And he ends up getting 49%. Kills off this mortar and half of that expo. Really sucked. I'm sure he was pretty mad about all that, but, I mean, this just kind of shows you. We were up against a beast of a base here. Now, in the last, you can see here the last 6 minutes, Hoyd gets attacked, the last 11 minutes and 6 minutes. Hoyd gets attacked by their number 1. I'll show you guys that in a second. But Hoyd also attacks their number 1. And you already can see that it is a 3-star attack. But, and this just shows, this is just us learning from each other, taking our best shot, going from... We went from a couple different angles and a couple different attacks, but this seemed to be the best angle to get at this base. And there's not many flaws, but and I wouldn't even call this a flaw. This is just, you got to do what you got to do at this point. So you can see Hoyd doesn't have any poison, so he does have to use his queen ability right here to take down that dragon and the balloons. That's not a major problem. It ends up still being just fine. I was worried that queen was going to start walking up north. But I think that's why he put down the 1 Valk to try to clear out this space a little bit and make sure that she didn't. So he does the same exact thing that we had with TC's attack. Breaks that wall a little bit, wants to get the queen on the inside, rages. Now, unfortunately, rage does cost troop space, according to this AI. So when he drops down that final rage, the AI says, you know what, it's time to start getting in there and wrecking some stuff. Now, you can see his funnel's great. He's got that quake down. He rages right here, and just like my attack, they all go toward the Inferno, and then they go straight in towards the Town Hall. But only the BK and a couple Valkyries. He had just enough health with that level 32 BK. Takes down the Town Hall before that AE wrecks it. Now, fortunately enough, too, because you can see that queen was just beating up on the wall. Those 3 Valkyries he had left came down and took care of that AE. That ends up being huge. He says right here that he pretty much yelled at the screen when he realized that everything fizzled out, but his queen was still at full health, because at that point, you know that she's going to get the 50%, which was huge. We needed that. It sealed the win for us. It made it so that they had no chance to really win at this point. When they failed on Hoyd, the max they could get was 59. And so when he got in there and he got 59 for us, they had no other fails left, and they did. They just couldn't get it done. Now I want to show the attack on Hoyd, because TC got 3 stars. We don't ever see that. But I mean, you have a max Town Hall 11 for the most part, so you can almost not be surprised by that. But this guy right here, he's using a bowler attack. He's got some Valkyries in there, and we love our Valkyries, and we're having some success with the bowlers as well. Kramer has been just absolutely mowing down people with his bowlers. He's got level 3 as well. Now this guy only has level 2. Maybe that made a big difference in it. I have to assume, yeah. But this is a pretty good plan nonetheless, too. He drops a jump right down here. Some bowlers are going up top, which actually helps. It funnels a little bit, keeping all the heroes and all the Valkyries on the inside of the base. So he's not having a lot of trouble. These things are just flying straight through Hoyd's base. And I was hoping at this point, I was like, you know what, this might be all right. I see all those heroes up there beating up on a wall. But you can't discredit these heroes. He's got, the ability still with his queen and his Barb King. And so it comes down close. And it looked like for a good while there that he was going to end up getting a 3-star on Hoyd as well. And that was going to be devastating. But what turns out to be good, you can see his attack is pretty good. His queen already was taking some damage. She's still alive. But he rages the BK right about now, and it's a good idea. It gets the BK ahead of the rest of the heroes, so they can kind of start swinging around and taking care of these defenses. Now, that jump still there helps out too. This is where it gets really interesting. You can see that level 3 Expo is almost dead, but it starts targeting the queen. So he has to use the queen's ability. This warden jumps the wall and all that kind of stuff, and he's taking care of all these other things. It targets the warden. That's huge. Takes down this warden in just a second without the warden hitting the Expo. Because again, that Expo does not have a lot of health left. Now, if that Expo would have retargeted onto one of the bowlers, I think this would have been a 3-star attack. But since it went straight at that queen, before the queen can bust through that wall, it ends up taking the queen out. The Expo survives, and everything fizzles out with like 96%. I think 95, 96, something like that, yeah. Looks like 96, yeah. That should have been a 3-star attack, but it just works out perfectly. The Hoyd's base held on. So at that point, they almost kind of give up, I guess. They had a 94% on Dean, so they needed 3-star there. Their final 2 attacks on Maverick and on myself just didn't really get it done. So this is a huge war. We were so ecstatic and super proud of everybody, I was at least, for all the effort that we took. I mean, you can see how many shots we took on their enemy number 1. Just looking at defenses, 8 defenses out of 10 with that guy. I mean, that's just crazy, but you saw the base. It's a hell of a good Town Hall 11 base, and hopefully we don't have to do anything like that in the future. But that's it. That's our war.